Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing a longer term market update for Bitcoin and talking about the fact that we have just recently tagged a local high at $26,500, which brings Bitcoin up to a higher high on this weekly chart, completely taking out any of the highs from back here in February, January, and even going all the way back here to August when we had this rally up to that level around 25K. So this is very significant because again, it does take Bitcoin to a valuation that really hasn't been seen since all the way back here in June of 2022, about 40 weeks ago. And all of this is really looking like a very constructive and positive bottom pattern for Bitcoin on the higher time frame charts. And you can see what I mean, where it does really have a rounded bottom look to it, with the structure and the momentum really starting to shift and reverse back to the upside, which is also very well illustrated by these two moving averages, the 20-week moving average, the red line, and then the 21-weekly exponential moving average, the green line. You can see that was previously in the bear market a band of resistance with rejections off the moving averages, but now that's starting to have the reverse effect where the price broke back above them beginning in January, and then since then we have actually seen them act as support. They're sloping back upwards. A lot of signs here just really telling us that the structure has shifted. Bitcoin is really no longer in this very dominant downtrend. It can have many ways of interpreting this downtrend break, but again, the fact that we have actually come up and made a 40-week high is very telling that we have sort of concluded this bear market trend, and we're more or less within this sideways range, with the range highs being right around 25K. I still do consider this level to be strong resistance for Bitcoin, and then the range lows and the support obviously being around that $18,000 level, which was the area that acted as support for months and months and months, and then the FTX crash had a brief fake out deviation below the range, which of course was reclaimed back in January as well. So this is more or less the range that Bitcoin has been in for, again, the last 40 weeks, with the brief deviation following the FTX saga, and we're once again retesting those range highs. We're at this level of resistance that was previous support on this leg down in May. It was resistance back here in August, and it has been resistance over the last few months on a few retests, once again coming up to this level right around 25K. Now, the fact that Bitcoin was able to make it and break back above it to 26.5K is very bullish, but of course, on this longer term time frame on the weekly chart, there is no confirmation of a sustainable breakout. We haven't seen any weekly closes above this level, and of course we have a long ways to go before the next weekly close. So about 5 days or so, we can look out for how the weekly does close, and if it can break back above this level and have some sort of candle anywhere closing above $25,300 more or less, that would be the confirmation I would look to confirm a range breakout. And at that point, I would then start to target the next range and the next level of resistance, which is this level coming in right around the $32,000 range. And if you recall back in the summer time frame of 2021, that's really where Bitcoin found support. It had a triple bottom off of that region, just retesting it about 3 times before inevitably reversing back up to new all-time highs. And that was also where we flipped into resistance on the breakdown in May. So this is going to be a very key target to watch out for if we can have that sustainable breakout and we do get that confirmation on the weekly chart, which again at this point has not happened. We do not have that in play yet, but we are getting very close here, and if the weekly candle can close again above 25.3K, then I would look to that as the next target. Of course, we could have fake outs along the way like the one that we saw below the range back here in November and December, but by nature, fake outs are just less likely to happen, so I will be focusing on the upside targets as my primary view and my primary outlook. And again, to restate, the fact that Bitcoin has made a higher high after what seems to be a higher low at this $20,000 region as support ultimately looks very bullish from my perspective, and this is all coming after some pretty negative news surrounding the financial markets. And I do think that eventually we will see the momentum return to the upside. We're still within this range, we're still within this general zone of consolidation, but again, I do see this as a longer term bottoming pattern. I do think that we will see a breakout at some point, whether that is on this retest or another retest several months out from here. I do eventually see us returning back up to that next level of resistance at 32K, and then eventually starting to retest some of those other levels back in the bull run. I hope you guys enjoyed the content and the analysis, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.